Hello, how you doing? It's 8 o'clock, it's Friday, we're live. Facebook, YouTube, how you doing? If you can hear me, if you can see me, say hello, drop me a like, let me know you're there. I'm not just talking to myself, which I'll be doing most of the day. Yeah, so this week is going to be last week's live. Had a few technical issues with that, and basically threw my toys out the pram and cancelled it and moved it to this week. So today's live is going to be about allergy removals. And I have no idea if this has even been posted to Facebook because I didn't get a notification myself, but everything is saying that it's on there. So give a few minutes for people to drop in. Remember, say hello, let me know you're there. We'll give it a few minutes and we'll get started. Seems to be all running okay at the moment, but I won't jinx it. Right. Okay. Let's just dive into it, shall we? Allergies and allergy removals. It appears to be a difficult thing to, if you like, convince people that an allergy can be taken away. The reason why it's so difficult is because I don't have billions of pounds, billions of dollars to spend on marketing like the antihistamine companies and the tablet companies have. However, there is a better way than stuffing your face full of pills and potions and shoving sprays up your nose and all that business, just so you can go out and about. Right, hang on. Technical problem. Just going to check. Apparently I'm live, so I don't know what's going on there. So I'm just getting reports in that people are asking if I've gone live yet because they can't see me. So if you can see me and if everything's fine, thank you very much. Give me a like, say hello. There we go. Hello, Sally. Don't know if it had been working or what, or if it's, I don't know. Who knows? It's always a mystery, isn't it? Every Friday. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? I suppose you can just all come here for the excitement of it all. Right, let's start again, shall I? Because I have no idea if any of that even went on. Oh, good. Sally got a notification. I didn't get one. Bloody Facebook. Allergies. Again, from the beginning. It always goes well. Yeah, I haven't got billions of pounds to spend on marketing, so I can't go out there and tell people that there's an easier way than shoving pills, potions, and sprays up your nose just so you can go out down the park with your kids, that sort of thing. You can actually have them removed, taken away, gone forever. How is that possible? I hear you ask. Magic. And that is all. Good night, folks. Honestly, to some people, it does seem like absolute magic. And when I first started doing them myself, it did seem like absolute magic. When I first learned how to do it and the technique to do it, my girlfriend had a lavender allergy and practiced on her. And as you can imagine, first attempt, I wasn't expecting much, but it did. You know, lavender's in a lot of things, so it was things like bubble baths and soaps and things. So she'd always have to read the label to make sure that certain ingredients weren't in there that would start a reaction. You know, she can walk out, and if she sees a lavender plant, she's always touching it now just because she can. And she's went many years beforehand where she couldn't go anywhere near lavender. So that was the first one I'd ever done. And from then on, I've had amazing success with them. Now, of course, each person's different, but the majority of the time it'll take first time, every time, and everyone is good. When we have an allergic reaction, it is just your brain getting you to shift from what it thinks is a threat to your life. However, that threat to life isn't a threat to life. The cat fur, dog fur, dust, tree pollen, grass, milk, the dairy products, cheese, chocolate, whatever it may be, that's causing a reaction isn't going to kill you there and then. Not the thing itself. And what happens is when something enters our body, like a virus or a dead particle, such as fur and dust and that, the brain has to send a signal to the immune system to fight it. Now, if a virus comes in, like flu and cold, that sort of thing, it fights it one way. When a dead particle comes in, like dust or fur, whatever, it fights it another way. Now, when it cocks up, it sends the wrong signal and the wrong thing fights the wrong thing. So then it blows up. And what's the best way to get you away from what it considers a threat is to make you very, very uncomfortable. The runny nose, the eyes, the swelling, all of that business is just there to get you to go away from what it perceives as a threat. It's a response. It's a mental response to something. It's the same as a phobia or heightened anxiety, something like that. An allergy is the same. And what I do is I come along and reprogram it. So rather than the reaction being, let's take grass for instance, that one seems to be a popular one for me at the moment. You take the kids to the park or you're walking to work or whatever, and the grass is being cut on the way, and rather than your eyes streaming and your nose running and all that business, nothing happens. You just walk past it. Fine. And that happens because you can reprogram the response from runny nose, shitty response to fine. Now, whatever that might be for you, most people crystal clear, happy, confident. We can replace these and we can put these new ones in, and then I'll cement them in, anchor them in so they stay there. And it can be done very quickly. I've mentioned before, the quickest I've probably done an allergy removal, well, one of the quickest I've done an allergy removal was a dairy intolerance at a course I was on. And one of the people from there was on about it. So while I was eating my burger on the lunch break, I took his dairy intolerance away for him. And I saw him again, was it last month or the month before? Because he came up here to do, he's a hypnotist himself, and he came up here to do a stage show. And I'd asked him, he's still getting on. And it's been, a couple of years ago since I did that, and he's still fine. He can still have milk, chocolate, whatever else that he couldn't have previously. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll just be waffling on as per usual. So, we've took the allergy away. Now you're going to want to test it. And if you've probably seen the video I posted of the amazing client I had last week, who had a grass allergy and tested it thoroughly by sticking a head in a bag of hay. So it's one way to go about it. Or you could just go for a walk and just, do the things that you want to do and find that you have absolutely no reaction to whatsoever. And it's hard to explain how it works without sort of teaching it, because it is so fast and it is so simple. But when you know what's involved, I use the same technique for many things. Because, like as I said before, an allergy is the same as a phobia. If you think of an allergy as a phobia of the immune system, or your immune system's got a phobia if you want, I reprogram it. So reprogram the phobia is easy enough, reprogram the allergy is easy enough. We get into difficulty how severe the reaction is. So I won't work with anybody who has anaphylactic shock, because, as I said, for most of the times it does take first time, every time, and all is fine. However, sometimes for some people, it may need a little tweaking, or something may have happened and it's not took as much as we want it to, so we just redo it again. Now, if all that's going to happen is the runny nose, the bit of swelling, whatever else, that's fine. But I don't deal with death, and I don't fancy having to phone my insurance company up about that. Thank you very much. So, if the allergic reaction is death, then I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But if it is, the usual, the runny eyes, the rash, the bloating, wind, diarrhea, or just things that really make you uncomfortable and it's holding you back in life, then I can help you with that. But if it's going to kill you, I ain't risking it. I won't want you to risk it. I've not had anybody I've had to do a phobia removal for somebody whose reaction to what the phobia was an anaphylactic shock, but I didn't mess with the allergy. I messed with the phobia because that's what she wanted help with. But I don't think I've actually worked with anybody who does have anaphylactic shock, or like even in a consultation with. I think for them, like I say, what I do is that hard to sort of convince people, because it's unheard of. There's only a few people that I know who do it, myself included. So everybody else just pops down the pharmacist or pops into the supermarket, picks up the Piriton and whatever else and all that stuff, the sprays, the tablets, the wipes, and all of that. Spend a fortune on it each summertime, and that becomes their routine and habit. That's just it. That becomes normal for them. Not that long that's what it is now. Hay fever season's here, allergy season's here, so we'll go and stock up on all this shit, and that's what we do. But there is another way. There is my way. There is having it removed. So when we get these new responses, these new patterns put into the brain, you will just go out and do it. And what we do is we run through that process of you going out, and we really ramp it up to something that would be unbelievable, something that would never happen. Like, because the brain can't tell the difference between thought and reality, the brain thinks that you're actually doing that task and you're having no issues. So when you actually go out physically and do it, that's what will happen. No issues. Obviously, when you've done this, you've still got your memory of how you used to react, your memory of what used to happen. Same with phobias as well. So there's a little niggle of the what if. And this is why I suggest that you just go out and do something that's natural rather than something that you'd never really do, just so you have a proper test of it. Just so if you want to go around your friend's house but you can't because they've got a cat and that cat's been setting your allergies off, pop round your friend's house, have a cup of tea, have a coffee, whatever it is that you wanted to do, and then when you come out, assess the situation. Most of the time, your friend or family member will point it out to you. From what I've done, and again with people, I push everything that I do to failure, so I can build on it and work on it and make it better. It's best if you're having a allergy removal. It's best that you're not having any symptoms of the allergy. Once it's took, it's harder to do. So if you're completely clear, and we can sit down and we can do it. I could do it online just as easy as I can face to face. It is easier face to face because I can do more of it, whereas I can only guide you what to do with the anchoring part. And you have to follow instruction, which then sort of takes out the part of the brain that I'm trying to communicate with. It still works out. I still have plenty of good results online. As I say, don't mess with anybody who will have anaphylactic shock or anything like that. But for most things, I do. So it's high fever, dairy intolerance, dog, cat fur, dust. What's the ones? Other things from foods like citrus. Yeah, the list goes on and on, really. And again, as long as it really is what how severe the reaction is to what I can do to help. If you know exactly what it is, so some people say they've got hay fever. Okay, what sets it off? Could be grass, could be trees, could be. I can sort of do like a blanket thing where we put everything into one image and run with that. But if you can say to me, it's definitely grass, it's definitely dog fur, it's definitely dairy, well, right, we can tackle that one thing and really hit it home. Excuse me. Also, sometimes people come to me for allergy removals and it isn't an allergy. Or it is an allergy, but not how I think it is. And again, that's for me to try and figure out. So when I do an allergy removal, I do a whole thing. So we have a good clear out of all the stress and all the shit and build up of life and stuff like that. So we've got a nice clean slate to work with. I do that with everything I do, whether it be a phobia removal, allergy removal, doesn't matter. Especially, and definitely a trauma removal. I like to have a clean slate to work with, and then we can actually focus on what you come to get help with. Now, the brain can cause an allergy to get you out of something. Your brain can. So let's say every Sunday you're made to mow the lawn and you absolutely hate mowing the lawn. Really detest doing it, you can't stand it. So your brain will go, all right then, let's do something to stop this from happening. Grass allergy. If you are gaining from it, well, your brain's not going to want to change it. So that's a question I ask on a consultation. What are you gaining from having this allergy? I ask everybody anyway, whether it be from anxiety, depression, trauma, whatever. Are you gaining anything from having this? Because people do. Not in a nasty way. Some people gain financially, or they get benefits at home or work or something, and they're not going to want to lose it. So I have to make sure we know what we're up against, and then they can decide if being free from these things is worth losing out what they're going to lose out. If that's the case. Majority of people, though, want it shifting because it's holding them back in life. It's stopping them from doing the things they want to do, whether it's a simple thing of taking the kids down the park, sharing an ice cream with them, whatever it may be. Things we take for granted. You know, us people that don't have allergies that we just take for granted. You know, walk into a chocolate shop or something and you have to ask about dairy-free ice cream. Is it this? Is it that? Is it dairy-free chocolate? Is it suitable for this? And you know, and it's becoming common practice now that it's just a given that most people got allergies to something, and again that comes from our way of life. I hear a lot of people saying, "Well, when I was at school, nobody had these allergies like they have today." That's because it's different now. If we have too much of something, we can get allergy towards it to stop us. Our brain also then want to stop us from doing it if it is causing us damage. So if we're drinking milk by the bloody litre of it, you know, and we're a bit excessive, quite possible that your brain will cause you to have dairy intolerance to stop you from drinking that or eating too much dairy or whatever it may be. Not all the time, but sometimes. I'm actually using that theory to pursue, because I'm diabetic and I was diagnosed diabetic in 2020. And when I was a driver, my diet was shocking. It was just cakes, biscuits, chocolate, donuts, multiple cans of Coke. And I think, and again, I've got no evidence to back it up at the moment, but this is what I'm researching. Having diabetes, I was forced to change my life. I was forced to change it. I couldn't have done that same job, so therefore I wasn't poisoned. I couldn't poison myself with the food. As soon as I quit that job, my diet changed everything. I mean, my diet had changed as soon as I was diagnosed diabetic, but once I left that job, it changed completely. Much healthier, much better. Did my brain do that to save my life? No, this is what I like to research. And then I've gone down the path of seeing if I can reverse it. I'm type 1, so that means no, according to medical science. But I like to push and see what happens with it. However, my girlfriend pointed out again that because I have to inject, everything's easy now. I'll go out and we have a meal out. I can have a starter, main course, pudding, and I just have to inject. That's my pancreas now, a pen, right? It's easy. If I didn't have that, I'd have to go back to how I was when I was first diagnosed wrongly with type 2 and be miserable looking after me diet and stuff like that. I still do, and I'm healthy and whatever else. It just gives me a bit of freedom to have, you know, some enjoyment with my bloody food. So it was pointed out to me, again, if you're gaining from something, you're not going to want to change it. That if I could have my pancreas working again, I'd be constantly living in fear of it not. So I wouldn't want it to. And that's quite true. So more than it's pain in the arse having to check your bloods, and it's a pain in the arse to inject and stuff like that. However, it has given me freedom to what I did have when I was put on the wrong tablets and was nearly killed. So that's what I mean by people with allergies, that they might be gaining something. So we've got to find that out. If not, if it's just holding you back, terrific. Let's get rid of it then. I always do them in 2 sessions. So we do the first on the first session we go through it and we do it, and then the follow-up session, see if anything needs tweaking or improving on, or maybe something different just popped up that's showing itself and we can shift that as well. If you do know exactly what it is, that makes everyone's life easier, especially mine. Don't mind doing a bit of detective work now and again, but as I say, it's easier for you. You're the one that wants the result quickly as possible. But if you do know exactly what it is that you need removing, that helps brilliantly. Yeah. So we didn't have no questions, but I've covered the basics of what allergy removal is. Like I say, it is difficult to explain how it works without sort of teaching it, and then it's hard to teach it if you don't know the basics of hypnosis, NLP, that sort of thing. Yeah. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, feel free to drop me a message. Get in contact, and if you want your allergy removed, to our website, mindsetsft.com, and drop me a message off there via the WhatsApp button, and I'll have a chat and get you booked in for the consultation. Go from there. So next week I'm going to do a live Q&A about weight management. I haven't covered that one, I don't think. I might have done right at the start, but I'm going to cover it in more detail. So we're going to do weight management one, losing weight, gaining weight, why diets don't work, or you can't keep the weight off, and anything else that's related to that. So again, if you've got any questions for that, feel free to message me. If you don't want to put it in on the live, that's fine. And cheers, Sally. You best be here. If you ain't here, no buggers here by the look of it. Is it football night? Is it? No, it's not. It's only Sunday. I don't follow it. I don't know what's going on. I might change the days as well soon and try a different day, because Friday evenings have been slow, and I've done it a few months now, and so I might change the days to something else. We shall see. Might be midweek like I used to do, because that weren't too bad. Yeah, so join me next week and we'll talk about anything weight related. Have a good weekend. Take care, whatever it is you're doing, and monstersft.com if you want to make some life changes and shift the shit and get on with it. Let's do it. Let's do it and work together and get you the fastest and best results we can get. Take care. Bye-bye.